day to you.
Time of the day, whatever time of day it is. Thank you for such short notice to decide to do this podcast. We have absolutely nothing to talk about. We prepared this in great detail, have we, this week?
Yes, and we haven't done one for a week and a half, and they start playing again tonight, haven't we? So
they do, yes. For all those fantasy footballers who will probably get this before this evening, week 14 kicks off tonight at 7:30, I think, isn't it? With Ipswich versus Crystal Palace.
All the big guns are in tonight, aren't they?
All the big guns are in, and then tomorrow night I'll be going up to the Emirates to see Arsenal, the revived Man U. Man U fans are going crazy, and the press are going crazy because they managed to get a draw away to Ipswich. They beat Bilbo Baggins of the Antarctic, and they battered a very bad Everton on Saturday. But suddenly, they are now world beaters under the new manager Amorim or whatever.
Well, that's the same as what Villa did when Emery came along, isn't it? With the world beaters, and then suddenly we've dropped out.
Emery, yeah, Emery. Hey, Fash, how you doing today? Let's talk about Emery today. But before that, Michael, my main subject of today, is the jungle. Now, you may go, why the jungle? It's the celebrity get me out of here. Because this season, Colleen Rooney is in the jungle.
Mm.
And when she went in the jungle, being paid £1.5 million to eat kangaroo testicles, Rebecca Vardy of the Wagatha Christie trial, and for those that are not necessarily up to speed, Rebecca Vardy tried to sue Colleen Rooney because Colleen Rooney basically discovered that Rebecca Vardy had been leaking private information about her to the Sun newspaper. Rebecca Vardy said this was nonsense and sued her for defamation. Rebecca Vardy lost massively because basically that's exactly what she'd done. Anyway, if you go back to 2017, Rebecca Vardy was in the jungle. So there is a tie-up here. So we've got the new Wagatha.
It's a long-winded one.
Jungle guy. Yeah, I know, but you got to put the context in. Anyway, the point being is, last night on the jungle, they had the third person to be evicted, and it wasn't Colleen Rooney. She's still in there. But when you go back to 2017 and Rebecca Vardy, she was kicked out on week 3. So already one up to Colleen, already being paid more money to be in the jungle, and actually coming across as actually a very nice person.
She does come across as quite nice.
She does come across very well. She does any of the bush trucker trials. She doesn't scream. She doesn't, I'm a star, blah, get me out of here. She just gets on with it. And she's brilliant. So
there's one thing she's going to do different to Rebecca Vardy, though.
What?
Vardy went in and her husband was employed. When she came out, her husband was employed. Colleen Rooney goes in and Rooney had a job. She might come out and he hasn't got a job. Because Kyle aren't doing too well.
I don't think Wayne Rooney needs a job.
No, but that could be one up on Vardy. She goes in and her husband's got a job.
Yes, it could be.
And he's still got a job.
Yeah. He's probably Wayne's got to last at least a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he could fly to Australia and bring her home.
Rowena said last night.
But the only thing that made me laugh last night, they were all sitting around talking about holidays, and Colleen was going on about holidays at Butlins and how much the kids loved it, and caravan parks. And somehow I don't. Do you have those in Barbados, caravan parks? I'm not sure.
Well, she's Dubai. There's done quite a bit in Dubai as well.
Dubai caravan, but there's loads of caravan parks in Dubai. Well, there's loads of tents. Let's say in the desert. I just
can't see Wayne Rooney getting out of a caravan in the morning with his cup of tea.
Oh, I can. I absolutely can. I think You do remember where they came from.
Oh no, but I just can't see him doing it now because he just thinks he'd be pestered and whatever. I can see her doing it because I wouldn't recognise her walking down the street because I wouldn't expect to see her. So yeah, oh, good luck to her. If she's having
Anyway,
people, good luck to her. She's playing.
anyway, so the good news is it's Colleen Rooney 1, Rebecca Vardy 0. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. So well done. And let's face it, Rooney was a much better player than Vardy. Vardy is still playing. Old Steptoe is still playing because he's obviously still trying to pay off her
Pay off the
court debt.
debts.
Can you imagine when she went home to him and said, I lost the case? And he'd be like, yeah, obviously. You shouldn't have taken it in the first place, you muppet.
Yeah.
And she'd, yeah, but don't worry. It's only cost me £3 million.
Uh,
So just go score a few more goals for Leicester.
and
Now, talking of Leicester, new manager,
well, so they're going to start creeping up the table, aren't
Ruud van Nistelrooy. Will they
Mm.
get the new manager bounce?
they? The rude. I don't know, but I had a little link. You've just changed my link now because I had a little link of you saying Rooney 1-0 up, and I was going to say, well, it's not a higher score as that one, is it?
Oh, Michael. For people listening and not
With their
viewing,
ears.
Michael and I, he's just put up a picture of Arsenal 5, West Ham 2. Weird game, actually, in the sense that Arsenal went 4-0 up and it was all over. And then suddenly, within 2 minutes, West Ham had scored twice, which made it all a bit nervy. Then Arsenal scored again before half time. And somehow, even though it was a 3-0 spread, Arsenal seemed a bit worried. I don't know, psychologically. The scoreline 3-0 is much better than 5-2 in a psychologically if you're playing.
But
anyway,
was it
Arsenal were magnificent.
Was it Chris who had the betting sheet for? Was it Chris who lost
Clive
and lost it on that? No goals in the second half. But the thing, I was watching it. I was getting ready to go out, so I didn't see the second half. But I was watching it, flicking over to the Grand Prix, and there was a qualifying on. So I just kept flicking over, and every time I flicked over, there was a goal scored. Out of 7 goals, I never saw one.
Well, it was one of those entertaining games. It was another like last season when all the West Ham fans 4-0 left the stadium, but when they heard outside that it was kind of 4-2, they all tried to get back in again, thinking, "Oh, hang on a minute, there might be a miracle on here." But no said miracle happened.
And the little guy in that picture, the little Arsenal player, Saka, that's his stats. That's some of his stats. He's not doing too bad, is he?
Yeah, he's 23. He's only going to get better. He's a phenomenal player. And I'm not just saying that as an Arsenal fan. I mean, I think you go up and down the country, people would begrudgingly admit that he is an amazing player. Liverpool will give their eye teeth to have him as the replacement for Salah.
He's probably in most people's teams. Before Haaland, he's probably in most people's fantasy teams.
He's probably in a lot of percentage fantasy. We should look that up, actually, that stat, Michael.
Look at Haaland v Saka.
Yeah.
And then the other one we're
Manchester City wheels keep falling off. Oh yes, well, Liverpool, Arnie.
But here's my mate. Look.
You're mates with Arnie.
That's my mate Arnie. Yep, I've just been to Spain with Arnie. That was me and Arnie in June in Spain.
Looks like Vin Diesel.
Well,
or just looks like any shaven, bald-headed man, really.
You're closer because his name's Val, but yeah. But we think he looks like Slot just because he's bald-headed, and so we take the piss out of him, especially because he's a Spurs fan.
They are doing unbelievably well, but I just throw this in. Right. And this is only because Arsenal, the wheels always come off towards the end of the season. But 2 seasons ago, I think it was during the World Cup year when December was a World Cup period. Arsenal, after 13 games, got identical stats that Liverpool now have after 13 games. And Arsenal came second. So while everybody is giving the trophy to Liverpool already, and I at 9 points clear, I pretty much think, I mean, they're going to look stupid if they lost it. So unless the wheels come off over Christmas, they're going to be champions. And obviously, if they carry on like this, they will be worthy champions. But it must just nag away at the back of their heads. It's like, we're there, but we're not quite there yet.
Oh, we're not even halfway through the season.
Well, no, we're a third of the way through the season.
Yeah,
There's 25 games to go, and those
anything happens.
mathematicians amongst us will know that's 75 points.
Hmm.
Now,
So
nine
anything.
points, 75, 10% would be 7.5. So they've got to, who's second? Arsenal and Chelsea are equal behind them. So either of those teams have got to do 12.5% better in the rest of the season than Liverpool to basically steal that trophy. Interesting.
Yeah, but you'd have to analyze. I mean, I haven't looked at it. You'd have to analyze who's played who so far, though. I mean, obviously Liverpool have played some good people because they just beat Man City in that lot. But who's got the better running from now? But we're still only a third of the way through, so anything could bloody happen. I mean, the top could change by Christmas. Liverpool.
Well,
could
it
go
could,
back
because that
run.
year that Arsenal were top, they had a terrible Christmas. They lost at home to West Ham, of all teams, and they lost away to Fulham. There were two games back to back that Arsenal lost, and that 8 point lead or whatever it was, they lost 6 points immediately. So, of course, it can happen. At the moment, I don't see it happening to Liverpool. I think they're too good. But
Mm.
again,
Well,
one or
yeah,
two
stranger things happen.
injuries, you
Villa
know.
could bounce back. Villa could bounce back. I mean, they've only lost.
Yeah.
They've only
Can we
lost
talk
eight.
about Villa? How many? I
The-
mean, Villa are actually outperforming Man City in poorness.
yeah.
They've lost or drawn more games than even City, who are falling apart. Did you see? Did you see Pep and his his six fingered? Because the clock kept they were chanting, "You're getting sacked in the morning." So he did we've won 6 league titles. They could have bounced back with, "We've won 6 European Cups versus your one." But anyway, no, he won one at Barcelona, didn't he? So he's won 2. So Liverpool 6, Pep 2. But he was interviewed afterwards. He said, "Oh, I would have expected that of other crowds, but not Liverpool." It's like, get over yourself, mate.
Every club's going to say that.
People are going to have fun
Yeah.
on the fact that you are appalling at the moment.
It
Your
just shows
team,
how much Haaland needs Foden and De Bruyne. It just shows how much he needs the players behind.
they both were on the pitch. They
Will they?
both look that yeah, they both look. I don't know if they were on pitch for the whole game, so I didn't watch the game, but they look ghosts of themselves. I mean, they're not. Foden was, remember, player of the season last year.
And he's
This
only
year
22 or 3 or something. He's young.
Yeah, this year he can't do anything. And Kevin De Bruyne looks like a man who doesn't want to be where he is at coming to the end of his career and is probably thinking, I've won everything I can possibly win here. Can I not just get a nice contract in Saudi or
That's
America
what he's
or
looking at,
somewhere?
just moving off for a big contract, isn't he? But it makes me laugh that they want it when they got so much bloody money anyway. But anyway, but the
Well,
stats for
there was a funny. I don't know if you ever listened to 606 with Robbie Savage.
no.
It was funny on Sunday because there was a City fan on, and I love this because when it goes wrong, the fans very quickly turn against the team and the manager and everything. And this City fan came on and said, "Well, Pep's got to go." You go, right, okay, he's just won you 6 league titles and a European Cup and a few FA League Cup. But yeah, okay, he's got to go. And he should, he's not. What is his words? He's not a man who can rebuild a team. He can take a good team to be a great team, but he can't build a team. We need Mourinho.
That'd be
And you
interesting to
sit
be
there
going.
thinking, "Oh, please God, get Mourinho in." That will be an absolute disaster.
Yes. Well, I think there's a few teams having a disaster. Villa are as well. But here's another little stat for you. Here's a little. Oh, I keep moving out of the way, haven't I?
Move yourself out the way for those that are viewing.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is basically the supercomputers predicting Liverpool as what? 85%. and Arsenal. Liverpool are 85.1% to win the league, and Arsenal are 9.8. Well, yeah, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Makes
and I'd go with
sense.
that. I mean, I'd have put Villa above Arsenal to win it, obviously, but you know,
Oh, Villa, yeah. Villa might escape relegation the way they're playing.
yeah. I mean, it's
But
bizarrely
I've
though.
said this before, and I've said this before to Fashion. I know he doesn't like it, and I know he has to go back at me. But we had Unai Emery at Arsenal, and he did a similar thing. He got off to a flyer, but the truth is, he's not good enough.
Okay, he's still there. There's no, but I don't think you should sack him because it's whatever's happening.
I'm not saying you should sack him, no, because
I
I'm
think
enjoying.
I think we were performing above where we were anyway. We didn't have this. I don't think we had the squad to go into Europe. I always said this high up.
You were punching, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt. I think a season or two early. We haven't got a squad to do it. We haven't got that, and there's been a couple of calamities. I mean, the way Martinez was goaling on the weekend. I mean, what the fuck does he keep holding on to the ball for and just holding it, thinking he's a defender before he kicks it off? Then he picked it up and gave an indirect free kick 6 yards out from the bloody goal line. I thought it was just the under-13s were playing. The way they played in the first half was appalling. But
Well, you played at Chelsea. Everyone written Chelsea off before
yeah,
the
no, they've
start
done
of the
well.
season, but they're second with Arsenal on exactly the same points, the same goal difference, everything. It's just
Yeah,
numeric. It's what alphabetical why Arsenal is in second
yeah.
and Chelsea in third.
But
But there's no.
they were doing rubbish. But he has built a good team there. They built up and they're playing well.
Well,
And
you know what? He's a good manager. He learned under Pep as well. I mean, so he's no fool. He brought
he's
he,
taking it
he
week by
brought
week.
Leicester
And
up last season. I think won
yeah,
the championship, didn't he? And then
yeah,
left them. So he's obviously a man with ambition.
yeah.
And Chelsea, let's face it, got more money than in some would say sense.
Yeah, yeah. They have sold a few, or bought a few players, haven't they?
And they've got,
Um,
even Jackson is starting to score goals, and
mhm.
Palmer is obviously a revelation. I know that people criticise what's his name, Pep, for not keeping him, but he didn't want to stay at City because he wasn't getting enough game time.
Mm. I'm trying to work out how to get Jackson into my team now. I'm actually contemplating sacking Watkins out. It's like, but you know, when you sack someone out, they end up going to get a hat trick, don't they? Although Haaland doesn't so far. Sacked him out, and I've done quite well sacking him out. Because I think you'll
Yeah.
find I did quite well on my points this week. I went up to 19. Where did you go in the league?
No, I did get a green arrow.
And
I'm
how
out.
far?
I'm out of the 60s now. I'm into the 50s.
9, is it?
58, I think.
Oh. Still
So I
page
know.
two.
No, to be fair, I am moving I am moving slowly but steadily in the right direction. From my terrible start to the season, I'm now starting to put the points on the boards.
Is that still
Um,
page two, then? Yes, that is
I'm
still page.
yes, I'm in our league. Again, for those that aren't actually in our fantasy league, because we have so many teams in it. We have page 1 and page 2, and unfortunately, I am on page 2 of the league.
We call it Division 2.
Yes, you might as well, or Division 3. Actually, I'm playing where City will be playing next season. I'll be playing
Oh,
Stoke
do you know,
or
that's just going to
somebody
be.
else when the FA finally come through,
That'd be
Premier League
brilliant.
come through with the charges.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. If they go down a league or two or whatever, that'd just be so funny watching watching them go off and play at Scunthorpe.
But you got to remember, okay, everybody who was an original City fan doesn't care because they go, well, we used to play Stockport many years ago. We don't care, right? But there's a lot of newcomers that are City fans who are like, what is going on?
That'd be fun.
And anyway, it couldn't happen to a better pair of people than the Gallagher brothers. I mean, I personally, I've seen Oasis. They're good. They're good live. But I never bothered trying to get tickets. I can't stand either of them, and the fact that their faces must be melting at City's behaviour and City's performance right now just fills me with joy.
What'd be so funny if they went down there and actually didn't get straight back up. That'd be funny.
It's no wonder wall anymore, my friend.
No. Oh dear. Oh well,
Supernova or whatever
that's
else
sort
they.
of it, really. Can't be bothered to talk about our team because it's pretty naff. Uh,
No, I think well, the only thing we should quickly say for those that are in the fantasy league
oh,
is that
you can say something to them.
round 14 starts this week. Starts tonight, 7:30. Ipswich v Crystal Palace. Get your teams locked by 6 p.m. tonight, GMT time, because we do have a lot of foreign players. Leicester West Ham is later tomorrow. We've got Wednesday, big game, Arsenal at home to Man United. This is the new Man United. I've had so many Man U fans go, "Whoa, yeah, we're up for this game now." That's because they've just beaten Everton 4-0 at home. Whoopie doo. And they beat Bilbo Baggins from or Bobo Glint or whatever they're called from the Antarctic 3-2 at home in the Cup. And of course, their first game, they drew away to Ipswich. So yes, the mightily revived Man United bandwagon is rolling into London. And I'll be there.
The FA Cup, isn't this the FA Cup sort of thing for last year's winners v...
Oh, we're playing them in the FA Cup on the 11th of January again. You're at home to Brentford tomorrow night.
And we've got to win
that, and that's going to be an interesting one. That if you don't win that, I think Emery's going to be in trouble. Chelsea are away to Southampton, so put some Chelsea players in your team. They're away to Southampton.
Yeah, Liverpool
are away to Newcastle. Newcastle are not very good at the moment. I mean, normally you go tough game, but I don't think so. I think Liverpool will romp that.
Isaac isn't playing. I don't think he went off.
Man City is home to Nottingham Forest. Now, Forest are playing quite well.
Yeah,
and we beat them 3-0 quite easily the other day. So you've got to think that City can bounce back.
Yeah, but they're above
Thursday. We've got Fulham at home to Brighton. Difficult one to predict. And then we got Bournemouth at home to Spurs. Spurs. So Spurs will clearly lose that, being Spursy. They've drawn Tamworth in the FA Cup. That is got to be a big banana skin, right? If Arsenal go out to Man U, okay, that's one thing. If Spurs go out to Tamworth, that's definitely something different. And then on Saturday, the round 15. So we've got to remember, everybody, that round 15 starts on Saturday the 7th with a lunchtime kickoff. Everton v Liverpool. Now, last season, Everton won that game.
Yeah,
but I don't see Everton winning.
No,
this year. I see them losing by at least a margin of 4.
Yeah, I can't see a lot happening this year for them. And then we've got Southampton, so we should win one, hopefully.
Oh, yes, you've got Southampton at home. So I think
so that might just keep us out of the relegation zone.
I think that's a draw. Anyway, Michael, enough of this nonsense.
Yeah.
I will see you on the other side of week 14.
Yep. Okay. And
be
see
good.
You bye. Okay, bye-bye.
But goodbye, Michael. Goodbye.